The moment the hearing started, the entire courtroom erupted. Tyler, convinced he owned the world, stood before Judge Judy and barked, "You're a monkey." Everything stopped, the room froze mid-breath, the audience went silent. Miguel stared down at the floor and the bailiff moved in instantly. But Judge Judy, she didn't even twitch, not a blink. She just fixed him with one slow, deadly stare and the color drained right out of Tyler's face. In today's video, you're going to see the exact second Judge Judy shut this bully down and how brutally she did it. You'll also see just how strict her punishment was. The ending will leave you absolutely speechless. Before we get into it, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The camera captures every detail. Tyler's arms are spread across the back of his chair, boots tapping like a taunt, that insufferable half-grin tugging at the corner of his mouth. A low murmur runs through the audience like distant thunder rolling in. Even the bailiff subtly leans forward, already sensing trouble before a single word is said. Judge Judy looks up from the file, her expression carved out of stone. She doesn't need to speak. Her silence alone tightens the atmosphere, but Tyler mistakes silence for weakness. He juts his chin up like he's haggling over a used car, not standing in front of one of the sharpest arbiters on television. Miguel Torres, the plaintiff, sits small but steady at his table. His hands rest on a stack of documents, the edges slightly bent from how tightly he's been gripping them. He glances at Tyler, then flinches away, an instinctive reaction Judy doesn't miss. Her eyes flick to Miguel, then back to Tyler, calculating. "Let's begin," she says, crisp and clear. Miguel starts to speak, but Tyler cuts in first. "Yeah, I'd love to start, 'cause honestly this whole thing is stupid." Judy lifts a single finger, just one. Tyler cuts off mid-breath. "You speak when spoken to," she replies. "That's how court works." A small laugh escapes from Tyler's throat, not loud, but enough. The camera zooms in, catching the slight twitch in Miguel's jaw. He's heard that laugh before, and it's never meant anything good. Judge Judy turns to Miguel. "Tell me why we're here." Miguel tries again, his voice is steady but tight underneath. "Your Honor, Tyler, Mr. Briggs damaged my car, Tyler scoffs loudly this time, not bothering to hide it. The sound slices across the room like a thrown stone. Judy doesn't fully look at him yet, but the angle of her chin shifts, nodding every disrespectful move. Miguel continues. "He broke the side mirror during an argument outside our apartment building, then he refused to pay for the repair." "That's because I didn't do anything wrong," Tyler fires back, leaning forward. He's exaggerating like always. "Mr. Briggs," Judy cuts in, voice edged with steel now, "I did not ask for your opinion yet." Her tone freezes him, though only for a moment. His mouth curls again and he mutters under his breath. Quiet, meant only for himself, but the microphone picks it up. Judy hears it. The gavel doesn't fall, but the room reacts as if it had. Silence. She looks up slowly, deliberately. "Mr. Briggs," she says, "repeat what you just said." Tyler's smirk thins, Miguel's breath stalls. The entire courtroom holds still because whatever he says next could change everything. The silence feels tangible. For the first time, Tyler's smirk truly falters. Judy's stare pins him like an insect under glass. The camera widens to capture the tension. Every eye focuses on the defendant, who's starting to realize he might have chosen the wrong person to provoke. Tyler shifts in his seat, boots now still. The swagger dims, replaced by a flicker of doubt. I didn't say anything," he mutters, glancing toward the audience as though someone might rescue him. Judy doesn't blink. "Mr. Briggs, in this courtroom you speak clearly. If you're going to disrespect me, you will do it at full volume." The air hums, even the bailiff's posture sharpens. Miguel lowers his eyes, bracing himself. He knows this pattern. This is the moment where Tyler's bravado hardens into something venomous, the moment before he turns cruel. Tyler draws a long breath, eyes darting like an animal checking for exits. "I said," he stalls, his jaw flexes, "I said they really gave her a show." A wave of gasps and low reactions ripples across the room. Judy leans back slightly, steady, controlled, someone who doesn't need to flaunt power because she already owns it. "I see, thank you for your honesty." Her tone turns icy. "Let's move on before you say something even more foolish." Tyler swallows, thrown off by her composure. But that's the thing about real authority, it doesn't need to shout to burn. "Mr. Torres," she says, turning back to Miguel, "show me the documentation regarding the repairs." Miguel exhales shakily and hands a neat packet of papers to the bailiff. Tyler rolls his eyes hard as if the entire proceeding is just wasting his time. It's not even real damage, he mutters. Guy just milking it. Judy hears it, she still doesn't address it. The bailiff places the papers on the bench. Judy flips through them briskly, each rustle echoes like a warning. This is a professional repair invoice, you refuse to pay it. Yeah, Tyler says, puffing back up, because I'm not paying for something I didn't break. Miguel leans forward. Your Honor, he grabbed the mirror during the argument. He yanked it so hard it snapped. That's a lie, Tyler snaps instantly. He's always exaggerating, always playing the victim. Judy sets the documents down. Mr. Briggs, I've noticed you enjoy speaking over people. It's a habit you may want to break while you're still young enough to learn. The audience murmurs again, rising softly. Tyler stiffens, eyes narrowing, fists clenching under the table. The swagger sputters, replaced by something darker. Miguel hesitates, then adds, There's more, Your Honor. I also submitted an envelope with screenshots. Tyler's head snaps toward him. You what? Judy lifts an eyebrow. Screenshots of what, Mr. Torres? Of the messages he sent me afterward, Miguel answers, voice quieter now. The ones where he joked about the damage and other things. Tyler's jaw clamps down. Judy gestures to the bailiff. Bring me the envelope. The bailiff leaves the frame, leaving tension hanging in his place. Tyler's shoulders rise with a slow inhale, like a man bracing for impact. Miguel doesn't dare look in his direction. When the bailiff returns carrying a sealed envelope, Tyler mutters, This is going to be a joke. But his eyes tell another story entirely. The bailiff sets the envelope on Judy's bench like an unexploded device. Tyler's smirk has vanished, replaced by a tight, twitching jaw. Miguel sits perfectly still as though any movement might trigger something. Judy studies the envelope for a long, quiet beat. The camera zooms in on the slight lift of her brow, interest, suspicion, calculation. She taps the corner with one fingernail. The sound seems louder than it should. Mr. Torres, she says, you submitted this earlier. Miguel nods. Yes, Your Honor, and its contents are relevant to the damage. He hesitates. Mostly they show his attitude afterward. Judy peers over her glasses. Open attitude is often more revealing than open evidence. Then deliberately she breaks the seal. Tyler shifts, restless, agitated, like he's watching his own reputation totter on a ledge. Those aren't real, he mutters quickly. He probably edited them. Miguel flinches, not at the lie but at the tone. Judy slides out a stack of printed screenshots. The top page clearly shows a message thread, blue and gray bubbles, timestamps unmistakably from a phone. As she reads, her eyes narrow, her mouth flattens. She reads aloud, Should have known better than to mess with me. She flips to the next. Hope that car of yours was worth the lesson. Another, maybe next time you won't talk back. The courtroom reacts instantly, shocked whispers, shifting seats. Miguel swallows. Tyler's face floods with anger and embarrassment in equal measure. They're jokes, Tyler snaps. People joke like that, it wasn't serious. Mr. Briggs, Judy says, dangerously calm, does this look like a joke to you? Yeah, he fires back, lifting his chin. You're just trying to twist everything I say, that's literally your whole thing. A sharp intake of breath passes through the gallery. Judy straightens. Mr. Briggs, I don't twist words, I examine them, and these messages paint a very clear picture. Whatever, Tyler scoffs, anybody can fake texts. The timestamps match the night of the incident, she replies, not looking up. Mr. Torres, were these sent immediately after the altercation? Yes, Your Honor. She turns another page. The next screenshot shows Tyler sending a winking emoji after. Bet you can't afford to fix it anyway. Her tone drops a few more degrees. So you damage his property, mock him, tell him he needed a lesson, then try to humiliate him financially. Tyler leans back, arms crossing. He deserved it. He's always acting like some saint in the building, like he's better than everyone. Miguel's jaw tightens, but he says nothing. Judy looks at him. Mr. Torres, why didn't you mention these earlier? Miguel drops his eyes. Because I didn't want to make things worse. Her expression sharpens, more focused. Before she can speak, Tyler leans in, voice oozing arrogance. Oh, come on, he's milking this and you're just... He cuts himself off too late. you're just buying it because that's what you do here. The room goes rigid. Judge Judy's head lifts a fraction, eyes cutting toward him like searchlights. Excuse me. Tyler exhales through his nose, that smirk creeping back. You heard me. The audience gasps. Miguel goes pale. Judy places the screenshots down with precise care, her voice almost a whisper. Mr. Briggs, you've just made a very serious mistake. She doesn't raise her voice, she doesn't need to. The chill in the silence is enough to make even the bailiff adjust his stance. Tyler's smirk hangs on for half a second more, then dies under her stare. Mr. Briggs, she says, every syllable honed like a blade, let me make one thing absolutely clear. In this courtroom, you are not in charge. Disrespect me again and you will not enjoy where this proceeding goes next. The camera pushes in on Tyler's face. The swagger is still there, but faint, flickering like a candle losing air. He leans back, arms folded, jaw clenched. Whatever, I'm just saying what everyone thinks. No, Judy answers, you're saying what you think, and you've made it painfully clear that your thoughts lack discipline. A hush ripples across the audience, half awe, half anticipation. Miguel sits quietly, shoulders dropping as if he's been holding his breath for far too long. For the first time all morning, he looks like he might finally be safe. Judy pivots back to the case. Mr. Torres, you mentioned a witness. Miguel nods. Yes, Your Honor, my neighbor, Mrs. Patel. She saw the argument and what he did to the mirror. Tyler's lip curls. Oh great, dragging other people into it, figures. Judy ignores him. She looks to the bailiff. Please bring in the witness. The bailiff slips out a side door. The room hums under low tension, anticipation mixed with anxiety. Tyler's foot taps again, but the rhythm has changed. This isn't confidence, it's agitation. Miguel glances at him, then quickly looks straight ahead, shoulders tensing. He knows that sound. That rhythm has echoed in hallways and parking lots outside his door. The bailiff returns with Mrs. Patel, a petite woman in her late 50s, clutching her purse close. Her eyes find Miguel first, giving him a small, nervous nod, but when she looks at Tyler, the color drains from her face. She stiffens, steps falter, her hand shaking around her purse strap. Judy notices. Good morning, Mrs. Patel, she says gently. Please have a seat. Mrs. Patel lowers herself into the witness chair. Her voice is barely audible. Good morning, Your Honor. Judy leans forward. Do you understand why you're here today? Yes, I saw what happened that night. Tyler smirks again, but now it looks forced, stretched thin over something raw. Mrs. Patel's hands visibly tremble. Mrs. Patel, Judy asks softly, are you nervous? The witness swallows, a little, yes. Her eyes flick toward Tyler for just an instant, and that instant says everything. Tyler straightens in his chair, smirk widening like a threat. Judy catches it, her expression hardens. Mrs. Patel, she says, voice turning to polished steel, you may speak freely in this courtroom. You are safe here, do you understand? Mrs. Patel nods once, gaze dropping to her lap. Tyler suddenly leans back, stretching casually, playing the part of smug confidence for her benefit. A silent message. Judy's eyes narrow, something is off. Mrs. Patel, she asks, did Mr. Briggs speak to you before you entered this courtroom today? The witness's breath hitches. Tyler's smirk deepens just enough for Judy to see. Mrs. Patel's lips part but no words come out. Tyler's boot taps again, slow, deliberate, taunting, and Judy's voice lowers into a dangerous whisper. Mrs. Patel, what did he say to you? The witness's hands twist together in her lap as if trying to disappear. Tyler leans back, satisfied, while Judy never takes her eyes off Mrs. Patel. The room feels colder. Even the audience stays motionless, afraid that any movement might crack the fragile courage she's clinging to. Mrs. Patel, Judy repeats softly, I asked you a question. Did Mr. Briggs speak to you before coming into my courtroom today? The witness forces down a swallow. He just, she glances at Tyler again, her voice fades to a whisper. He said it was better if I didn't make things dramatic. Dramatic, Judy repeats, eyebrow lifted. Interesting choice of word. Tyler scoffs loudly. Oh my God, I literally said nothing. She's making stuff up because Miguel put her up to this. Mrs. Patel flinches at his voice. Judy turns to him slowly, her expression a controlled blade. Mr. Briggs, do not speak unless spoken to. If you interrupt this witness again, you and I will have a very different problem. His mouth snaps shut, though irritation flashes in his eyes like distant lightning. Judy turns back to Mrs. Patel. Let's start at the beginning. Tell me what you saw the night of the incident. Mrs. Patel hesitates, breathing uneven. I was watering my plants on the balcony. Miguel and Tyler were arguing near the parking area. What did you observe? Judy guides calm but precise. Tyler shifts aggressively in his seat. The noise makes Mrs. Patel jump. I saw Tyler grab the side mirror, she finally says. He pulled it hard, very hard, and then it snapped. The courtroom murmurs. Confirmation always lands harder when said aloud. That's a lie, that never, Tyler blurts, but Judy slams the gavel once. Mr. Briggs, sit down. The sound cracks like a shot. Tyler freezes, jaw clenched, but he complies. Mrs. Patel's breathing steadies just enough to continue. Miguel tried to walk away, but Tyler followed him. He kept yelling, calling him names. Miguel drops his gaze, shame flickering across his features, old and familiar. Mrs. Patel, Judy asks, voice soft but steely underneath, did Tyler say anything to you that night? The witness clutches her purse tighter. He told me to mind my own business when he saw me watching. Tyler smirks because it wasn't her business. Judy's head whips toward him. That is not your decision to make. Mrs. Patel looks between them, heart pounding so visibly it almost shows on camera. Then she adds, barely more than a breath, and when I came in today, he said if I made a fuss, he'd remember it. The room inhales as one, sharp, horrified. Miguel looks stunned but not surprised. Tyler looks furious, not remorseful. Mr. Briggs, Judy says, voice cold enough to frost glass, threatening a witness is a serious accusation. Tyler lunges forward. It wasn't a threat, I was just talking. People twist everything I say. His voice cracks not from remorse but from panic cloaked in anger. Judy studies him carefully, reading past the volume, catching the tremor he's trying to hide. Then she turns to the bailiff. Is the next witness present? The bailiff nods. Yes, Your Honor, waiting outside. Miguel stiffens, clearly knowing who's next. Tyler's expression drops. Good, Judy replies, we'll hear from them shortly. Mrs. Patel exhales shakily, grateful to be near the end. Tyler's knee bounces wildly now, no longer measured or cocky. Judy narrows her eyes, then asks another question that freezes the room all over again. Mrs. Patel, what exactly did he say before you walked in here? Her lips tremble, caught between fear and duty. Tyler's foot taps faster, nervous, not bold. Judy leans in, calm as a storm gathering strength. The room is pin-drop silent. Even the cameraman shifts slowly as if afraid to disturb the air. Mrs. Patel inhales. He told me if you make a scene in there, I'll make one outside. Her voice cracks. And he said it with this look like he meant it. A quiet wave of shock rolls through the audience. Judy's eyes sharpen. Mr. Briggs, do you deny saying that? Tyler jerks forward. Obviously she's twisting my words. I was just telling her not to exaggerate. Threatening a witness is not just talking, Judy cuts in, and I decide what constitutes exaggeration in this room. Tyler slams back into his chair. This is ridiculous. But the flicker in his eyes reveals it. He didn't expect Mrs. Patel to say a word. Miguel tightens his grip on his folder. Judy sees everything. She always does, and something subtle shifts in her face, not sympathy exactly, but recognition. This kind of fear doesn't spring from one single argument. Mrs. Patel, Judy says gently, thank you, you may step down. Mrs. Patel rises with visible relief, but the way she avoids looking at Tyler sends an unspoken message through the room. This is not the first time he's made her feel unsafe. As she exits, Judy turns back to Miguel. Mr. Torres, has Mr. Briggs ever made similar comments to you? Miguel hesitates. He opens his mouth, closes it, swallows. Your Honor, he's always loud. Oh please, Tyler scoffs. Quiet, Judy says, no need to raise her voice. Miguel stares at the table. But yeah, he cornered me once in the parking garage, asked if I wanted to make this bigger than it was. I didn't report it because I didn't want to, I don't know, escalate things. Judy's face goes very still, like a lens tightening its focus. Mr. Torres, she says evenly, intimidation is not escalation, it is abuse. Tyler half laughs, thin and defensive. You're all acting like I'm some villain. Miguel always plays scared. Miguel's jaw clenches, but the fear in his eyes shows the jab hit something deep. Judy turns to Tyler. Mr. Briggs, this is not a playground. You do not get to bully your neighbors, threaten witnesses, and then feign innocence. That is not arrogance. She pauses, gaze cutting through him. That is cowardice. The word ripples through the gallery. Tyler's face instantly reddens. You don't know anything about me. I know exactly what you've shown me, Judy replies coolly, and what you've shown is deeply concerning. The tension thickens, then her tone shifts. Bailiff, bring in the hallway footage from the courthouse cameras this morning. Tyler jerks upright. What footage? The footage, Judy replies without looking at him, showing your interaction with Mrs. Patel. The room explodes in whispers. Footage means proof. Proof means no more hiding behind swagger. Miguel looks up, startled, maybe hopeful. Tyler swallows. That doesn't show anything. We'll let the video decide, Judy says. The bailiff steps out to retrieve it. Tyler's bravado drains with every passing second. Judy steeples her fingers, waiting with the patience of someone who already knows the truth will not be kind to him. The lights dim slightly as a monitor is rolled into place. Tyler's breathing shifts, shallow, rapid. Judy's expression remains immovable. The bailiff connects the feed. The screen flickers to a grainy gray hallway. The low hum of courtroom electronics fills the quiet. The camera pans wide enough to catch Tyler shifting in his chair, visibly smaller under the looming screen. Play it, Judy orders. The footage starts, date stamp, time, courthouse hallway, early morning. Miguel sits forward, eyes locked on the monitor. Mrs. Patel near the exit discreetly wipes her palms. The audience leans forward too, almost unconsciously. There, Tyler steps into frame, same swagger as when he walked into court. He spots Mrs. Patel and veers straight toward her. On screen, she stiffens, clutching her purse like a shield. Then it happens. He steps into her path, not violently, no hands raised, but solid enough that she can't pass without brushing by him. The audio is muted, but the menace is obvious. He leans in, points toward the courtroom doors once, and smirks. Discomfort spreads through the gallery like a chill. Miguel's jaw tightens. Mrs. Patel's eyes drop again in real time. Judy watches perfectly still. That's nothing, Tyler stammers, voice cracking. That's literally nothing. Judy says nothing. Her gaze stays fixed on the screen. At her request, the bailiff rewinds and plays it in slow motion. Every detail magnifies. Mrs. Patel's slight flinch, the predatory tilt of Tyler's shoulders, the way he invades her space, the finger jabbed inches from her face. It speaks louder than any microphone. Tyler shifts violently in his seat. You're blowing that out of proportion. I didn't touch her. Intimidation doesn't require contact, Judy answers. It requires intent. Her tone could cut glass. The footage ends with Tyler walking off, shaking his head. Mrs. Patel waits a full 5 seconds before moving, her hesitation caught in unforgiving clarity. The screen goes black, silence. Judy finally turns to Tyler. Mr. Briggs, this video shows behavior consistent with what Mrs. Patel described. He explodes. You don't know what I said. There's no sound. You're all guessing. His outburst echoes painfully. Judy tilts her chin. Mr. Briggs, you seem very concerned about what we might hear. She turns to the bailiff. Do we have the enhanced audio yet? Tyler's head snaps toward the bailiff so fast the camera catches the panic in his eyes. Miguel's breath stops. The bailiff nods once. Yes, Your Honor, the technicians isolated part of the conversation. Tyler freezes. Then let's hear it, Judy says. The lights dim further, the speakers crackle. Just before the audio begins, Tyler mutters just loud enough for Miguel to hear, "This is bullsh." His voice breaks. He knows what's coming will strip away the last bit of control he thought he still had. The rest of the hearing reveals even more. A former neighbor's statement, a pattern of late-night visits, withdrawn cases, hallway encounters, fear thick enough to keep people from sleeping. Daniel retestifies, voice shaking as he recalls midnight knocks and drop it spoken through a smile. Tyler mutters snitch under his breath as Daniel passes and Judy hears it, a witness insulted right in front of her. Mr. Briggs, she says, voice gone lethal quiet, stand up. He stares. What, why? Because when you mutter slurs or threats in my courtroom, you stand while I address them. Reluctantly slowly he rises. Did you or did you not call that witness a snitch as he walked by? It wasn't like that. Answer the question. It wasn't a threat, it was just a comment intended to demean, to frighten, she finishes for him, tapping one finger on the bench. Patterns, Mr. Briggs, you're becoming very predictable. Tyler swallows, the bravado is nearly gone. Then Miguel speaks up more fully. He reveals that the broken mirror wasn't the worst of it. He describes Tyler following him, blocking his door, pounding on it, shouting that he was asking for trouble and that people like you should know better. He admits he didn't include everything in his first report because he didn't want to look scared or be the guy who complains. Judy doesn't let him downplay it. Mr. Torres, she says quietly, strength is not silence, strength is telling the truth despite fear. Finally, Miguel forces out the line that changes the temperature of the entire courtroom. He said, people like you should watch your backs, you don't belong here. The silence that follows is different now, heavier. This isn't just general bullying, it's targeted, personal, a direct attempt to make someone feel unwelcome and unsafe in their own home. Judy calls for the building security report. It matches Miguel's story, time, location, his shaken state, Tyler's parting comment to security, just giving him a reminder about how things work around here. 3 separate people, Judy says, have now testified to feeling intimidated by you. That is not coincidence, that is pattern. Tyler tries to argue, but every sentence collapses into frustration. I didn't mean to scare anyone, he finally blurts. I just didn't want people messing with me. And why, Judy asks, softer now but no less sharp, did you assume they were messing with you? He pauses, surprised by the question. Because that's how it's always been, people push and if you don't push back harder you get walked on. It's not a justification, it's a confession. You stopped pushing back, Judy replies, and started pushing down, that's where you crossed the line. The weight of that lands hard, Tyler sinks into his chair, quietly unraveling. Judy calls a recess, then returns to deliver judgment. When she comes back, the room falls silent immediately. Tyler sits with his shoulders caved in. Miguel, Daniel, and Mrs. Patel all lean forward, needing to see this through. Mr. Briggs, she says, voice steady, this court has heard enough evidence to form a very clear picture of your conduct. We are not dealing with a single incident. We are dealing with a pattern of intimidation, harassment, and emotional coercion. Tyler's leg trembles under the desk. His usual tapping is gone. She lifts the folder. You have harassed your neighbors, mocked them, followed them, threatened them, and when confronted here today, you tried to bully your way through this courtroom. Her tone sharpens. Let me be absolutely clear, bullying does not work here. Tyler stares at his hands now. The swaggering, smirking defendant from the beginning is nowhere in sight. He looks like someone seeing who he's been and not liking it. Mr. Torres, Judy says gently, you have shown more restraint and endured more fear in your own home than anyone should have to. Miguel's eyes sting, he nods. You created that fear, she tells Tyler. He flinches. Before I issue my ruling, Mr. Briggs, do you have anything you want to say? A long pause, Tyler opens his mouth, closes it. When he finally speaks, his voice cracks. I didn't realize I was doing all that. I thought if I didn't push first, people would walk all over me. Fear isn't strength, Judy answers, and intimidation isn't protection. They're excuses and they hurt people. He blinks rapidly, something like guilt finally surfaces. But none of this erases the harm you've caused, she continues, folding her hands. In a moment, I will issue my ruling. It will address the property damage, the harassment, and your conduct in this courtroom. What happens next will follow you beyond today. She raises the gavel, holds it suspended. Tyler looks smaller than ever. Miguel sits perfectly still, knowing this decision is about far more than just money. The gavel comes down with a sharp crack. Here is my ruling, she says. The room goes breathless. First, regarding property damage, Mr. Briggs, you are responsible for the destruction of Mr. Torres' side mirror. You will pay the full repair cost of $438.52. Tyler nods once, no argument this time. Second, she continues, your actions the night of the incident and in the weeks that followed amount to harassment and intimidation. This court will impose additional civil penalties. You will reimburse Mr. Torres an additional $2,200 for emotional distress directly caused by your conduct. Tyler's head snaps up. What that's? Quiet, Judy cuts in. You've said enough today. She closes the folder. Third, your behavior toward witnesses, Mrs. Patel and Mr. Ree, was utterly inappropriate and profoundly troubling. While this court cannot file criminal charges, I will be submitting a detailed report to the network's legal department and to local authorities. That lands harder than any amount of money. Tyler stiffens. That report will include the hallway footage, the audio, and your conduct here today, she adds. Miguel's eyes widen. Mrs. Patel exhales like a weight is finally lifting. Daniel closes his eyes, tension draining from his shoulders. You're reporting me, Tyler stammers. I am, Judy replies firmly, because intimidation doesn't just stop because a civil case ends. It tends to repeat unless addressed decisively. Tyler looks down at his hands, unraveling, truly confronted with the scope of his behavior. And lastly, Judy says, leaning forward, you will apologize to Mr. Torres, not for my benefit or for the court, but for his. Tyler's jaw trembles. For a long moment he says nothing. Miguel doesn't look at him, refusing to demand anything. The courtroom hangs in the balance. Finally, in a voice stripped bare, Tyler says, Miguel, I'm sorry. It's shaky, imperfect, cracked, but real. Miguel nods once, thank you. Judy straightens, satisfied not with the apology itself, but with the truth finally dragged into the open. This court is adjourned. The gavel falls one final time, echoing with finality, justice, and something quieter, closure. Miguel releases a breath he's held for months. Mrs. Patel offers a small, genuine smile. Daniel stands a little taller. Tyler stays seated, staring at the floor, not smirking, not mocking, not defiant, just face to face with consequences, with truth, and with who he has been. As the courtroom empties, Judge Judy gathers her files. Before she steps away, she gives Tyler one last look, a silent reminder that real authority isn't loud, it's firm. And when it's used precisely, it doesn't just end a case, it changes people.